Hey everyone, Pastor Brett here. As Pastor Corey and I have been talking with you about Mosaic communities, we understand that at times it may feel like drinking water from a fire hydrant. So over the next few weeks, we'll be sending out some bite-sized videos to help us move forward with our new framework of community here at Mosaic. This is the first, and future videos will be giving you more of a nuts and bolts of the unique ways in which Mosaic communities will be a little different than how our community groups and our ministry teams have been functioning up until this point. But today, I would like to back up just a minute and start by talking about discipleship. And specifically in this video, I'd like to talk about how our discipleship process and how Mosaic communities connect to that process. Our goal with any change, anytime and anywhere, is that it would help us walk out our mission statement at Mosaic more fully. As you know, our mission at Mosaic Church is to make disciples of Jesus through the core values of worship, community, and mission in a multi-ethnic and multi-generational context. So let's hop into that first and foremost concept in our mission statement, discipleship. Obviously, before anything else, Christian discipleship, that is being formed and conformed to the image of Christ, is relationship. It's first a relationship with Jesus that leads to a relationship with one another as a spiritual family, which in turn should overflow into relationships with people who are not yet a part of our family. And while we have a number of ministry environments at Mosaic that are all part of this process, you're about to hear again in this video specifically how Mosaic communities connect to our discipleship process. So let's talk about the 4 E's. As you know, the first E stands for engage. Beginning the conversation. Discipleship begins when Jesus says hello. And it just so happens that the way Jesus typically introduces himself to people today is through his body, the church, people like you and me. We're called to be salt and light to the world, to display who God is and what his kingdom is all about to people who don't understand either of those truths just yet. One of the best ways that we can engage our culture and our world is through demonstrating love and bringing healing into the lonely and broken places that people experience in life. This is why the first question when it comes to a Mosaic community is, what's your mission? Who or what is God calling you to engage? What is the outward kingdom assignment that God has placed on your heart? And most likely the answer to that question is going to be something that might be beyond your ability to accomplish on your own. Well, we've got good news. Our vision with Mosaic communities is to form smaller communities of people that walk together, relate together, and minister together to accomplish something that perhaps individually we couldn't do on our own. We want our Mosaic communities to engage, which brings me to the second E in our discipleship process, establish, belonging to Jesus and his people. A part of our vision with Mosaic communities, similar to what our community groups have been, is to establish you and new people in their faith and within Mosaic Church overall. There are a number of things that help us accomplish this principle at Mosaic, but where this principle intersects with Mosaic communities is right here with this truth. And more than anything else, to establish people in a community requires faithful, patient, consistent, gospel-centered love. And this kind of trust is established over time as we continually gather in smaller contexts to learn and grow together, to talk about our struggles, to bear one another's burdens, to walk in each other's shoes as best we can. This is what we mean when we say establish. Over time, we desire for people to be able to feel and say, despite our cultural pull towards individualism and isolation, that they know they belong, not only to Jesus, but to one another as well. The third E in our process is equip, growing in our ability to minister. This requires a knowledge and an understanding of who God is and what his word says. It requires a development of the necessary skills to accomplish the work that he's called you to. And because each mission requires not just a general knowledge, but a specific knowledge and outworking of those things, each Mosaic community will spend time together studying, learning, and growing in those areas. So God has placed a desire and specific talents and skills within each one of us. And he wants us to develop in those areas so that we can more effectively bring healing and reconciliation to the world. Your Mosaic community will provide a necessary environment where people can grow in their particular understanding of who God has made them to be and what God has called them to do. And as people grow in that understanding, we want to then empower them to step into those kinds of leadership roles. Therefore, the last E on our discipleship wheel is empower, leading others in the discipleship process. Ultimately, the goal of a Mosaic community is to help people mature in their relationship with Jesus and in the power of the Holy Spirit. to the point where they're able to lead others in their pursuit of Christ as well. See, Christianity is not just a one-person show where a handful of professionals do all the work while the rest of us just sit around and spectate. The goal is for the body to be the body, for everyone to become a minister, a servant leader. A healthy body will grow, and in regards to discipleship, it means that as the number of disciples grows, the number of people who can lovingly lead others needs to grow as well. If you are a leader of Mosaic Community, you have the amazing opportunity to help create an environment where others can grow and develop in their leadership and become a Mosaic Community leader of some sort themselves. See, just like in a family, I used to mow the grass myself, but as my son matured, I began teaching him how to mow the grass, and now he does it all on his own. But his younger brother is now at the age where he wants to learn how to mow the grass. So guess who's teaching him? Not me. His older brother is. So that's what happens in a healthy family environment. Through connection and love over time, some of those whom you've poured into will eventually desire to step into that place of leadership themselves. I mean, that's pretty dang cool. But can you imagine over time, some of the people in your group stepping up and out to do for others what they've seen you do for them? So our mission at Mosaic is to make disciples of Christ. That is our main thing. In the past, we've sought to accomplish that task in a particular way, but today, our culture has shifted, and the world that we live in is requiring us to reevaluate how to go about making disciples within our local church. Mosaic Communities is how we feel God is calling us to answer that question today. It is our hope and our belief that as we take a more holistic approach to discipleship within these communities, we will see people engaging our culture, getting established in a relationship with Jesus and his people, developing and growing as ministers of reconciliation, and then stepping into leadership responsibility as they seek to help others along the way as well. If you have any questions about the 4 E's in our discipleship process, please feel free to hit me up. I'm all about having this conversation and would love to help bring clarity in any way that I can. That's it for this video. Hope you're having a fantastic week. You'll get another video next week. Until then, have a great day.